The void is all about teaching you how to surrender. Through the process of surrendering, the process of releasing attachment, it's teaching you that you are spirit first. Then you get to a place where you become aware of how to evolve your ego into what your higher self is trying to expand into. The other piece that I want to make sure that you all walk away with is to be aware of self-sabotage. I have been seeing this happen with a few of you. It is the piece that keeps you in this cycle again and again and again. And bringing awareness to when it's happening can help you to actually evolve and stop repeating that. So what is really common is that your higher self will guide you to an experience, to maybe it's a container, maybe it's to a person or a group of people, maybe it's, I don't know, to a fitness program or something. It's going to guide you to something that through the process of that something, not through the stuff you're going to learn from it, but through the process of being in that space or being in that experience, will assist you in evolving to the next level. Your higher self will show that there will be evidence of it. You don't always know what time period it might happen in, but it will start to manifest in your life or in yourself or in your perspective of things. So what will happen often is your higher self will guide you through intuition to what it wants you to go through. Then as you're going through the process, you begin to see some shift happen. Then as soon as that shift happens, you abandon the process because now you're like, got what I needed. This is not like an 24-hour boom. This is essentially a rebirthing process. That doesn't mean it can't happen very quickly. I've seen it happen for some people very quickly. But it's really the attachment to it having to happen fast that's the problem. Or the attachment to it having to happen over a long period of time as well. I also dealt with that. So I'm sharing that with you from experience. You can be attached to, oh, this process, it has to take a long time in order for it to be valid. Spiritual gifts don't work that way. Spiritual gifting accrues over lifetimes. So yes, when you die, you don't really like get to carry with you your material things, but your spiritual evolution, you best believe energy is never created or destroyed. So there are many of you who are already coming into this life because you were energy before this life and already have a propensity for blank, whatever that genius is. So now it's just training this physical to utilize it and allow and moving the ego out of the way enough for it to be expressed. So it's the attachment to it having to be short or the attachment to it having to take a long time. It's the attachment. The attachment's the problem. That's really the theme of the void. The attachment is the problem. The attachment is the obstacle that's actually an opportunity. Because every time you release an attachment, you expand. Every time you release an attachment, you expand. Whatever that attachment is. So the self-sabotage cycle happens when we are attached to how we think something should, there's that word again, happen. It is. The void is all about teaching you how to surrender again and 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 then again. Through the process of surrendering again and again, the process of releasing attachment again and again and again is teaching you that you are, through that process, it's teaching you that you are spirit first. Then you get to a place where it almost becomes, I won't say it's completely automatic, but more and more you become aware of how to evolve your ego into what your higher self is trying to expand into. So let's say, for example, your higher self wants to experience wealth this time around, and you have an attachment to, if I'm wealthy, it means I'm greedy. You're going to be put into situations and experiences where your higher self is going to be trying to show you, hey, this isn't working for us anymore. It's going to do that through the mechanism of, you'll notice you have triggers. Those triggers will show you, if you sit with them, what you're attached to. So when you release that attachment, then you can expand. So, because we don't want you to be in self-sabotage and create this. We don't want that anymore. Just because you accept someone for who they are doesn't mean that you have to continue pouring energy into it. Is that in alignment with where I am? Is it in alignment with, especially in the case of like a significant other relationship? Is there energetic exchange? Relationship is a two-way. It's a two-way street. Relationship is not just like me having a relationship with you. It has to be both ways. Now, if you accept that, okay, this is how that person is choosing to operate, and I love them for who they are, I also don't have to be attached to them. So that other piece is energetic exchange. In the example of like, does my spouse doesn't do the dishes. I think that they should do the dishes. I can accept that maybe this is a person who that's not what they do. And I look for, but is there energetic exchange? Energetic exchange. If maybe they don't do the dishes, but every night they wipe the counters. I don't know. Or maybe in the evening, they listen to me vent. Doesn't have to be even like a direct correlation, but everything in this universe, there has to be energetic exchange. It's a law. It's a universal law. Without it, you can't get something from nothing. It's also the reason why, for those of you that do put content out there, it's also the reason why most people are not going to change their life from your free content, because there's no energetic exchange. The energetic exchange, or the amount of it, not necessarily in like physical amount, but the energetic amount that they put in is also what makes way for what can be received. So if I put no energy into my health, if I put no energy into my health, am I likely to be healthy for long? Probably not. This is why in our indigenous spaces and our traditional spaces, our ancient systems. This was why, even though there was not always a monetary exchange, there was an energetic exchange.